Women's fashion in the 1950s was characterized by an hourglass figure which was highlighted by cinched waistlines and voluminous skirts. Towards the middle of the decade, skirts became fuller with crinolines and girdles needed to maintain the perfect shape. Even when the petticoats were abandoned, the girdle was still required for slimmer silhouettes. In addition to evening wear, there were many options for day dresses and separates. Let's take a look at some of the patterns from that time. Fashions in the early 1950s were not much different than in the late 1940s, with the new look still having a huge influence. This shirt dress from 1950 is very reminiscent of that style. Simplicity 2330 has some great details like double darts, a shaped waist, and inverted pleats for the skirt. McCall's 8374 from 1951 has a soft feminine feel with a great square collar. As the decade progressed, skirts got wider and shoulders softer. Day dresses were all the rage, and if they were simple to sew, even better. This lovely dress from 1956 has a ribbon detail and double tucks over the hips. Butterick 7373 shows the pattern illustrations that would become popular to assure sewists that the dress was easy to sew. This was not always the case. The most famous of these easy-to-sew dresses was the walkaway dress, Butterick 6015, which stated that you could start the dress in the morning and walk away wearing it for lunch. It took me about 8 hours to sew it, so it would be a very late lunch. In addition to the wide skirts of the period, the sheath dress was also very popular. The style required extensive undergarments, and the skirts were often very tight. These two Butterick patterns from 1957 have great details like detachable collars and empire waist straps. McCall's 3922 is a dress and coat ensemble, which was very popular. McCall's 3615 is a dressier version of the sheath dress with a capelet and knee flounce. As you can see, with Butterick 8038, it was common for patterns to be released with both a full skirt and sheath version. Evening and party dresses were very popular. They usually had full skirts and were often strapless or halter style. This lush gown from 1952 includes a pattern for the stole and is available in 2 lengths. As you can see, this was often an option in 1950s gowns. This wonderful Givenchy dress from 1956 even includes a pattern for the petticoat. Vogue released a number of special designer gowns during this period. These have wonderful wide skirts and bodice details. This one has a great skirt with a cute bolero jacket. And let's take a quick look at bolero jackets. They were very popular in the 1950s, especially in junior wear. These two Butterick patterns from 1956 have full skirts and a bolero jacket to cover up. This Marion Martin pattern has a lovely gathered bodice with a fun bolero. Here's another dress with a sweetheart neckline and bolero with cuffed sleeves. The 50s also featured more separates, especially for casual wear. Slim pants or pencil skirts were worn with simple button-down shirts. You even see some nautical-inspired tops. This Western-style blouse pattern comes with an embroidery transfer and has wonderful shaped pockets. A simple boxy jacket with patch pockets was the perfect topper. This skirt and pullover top combo could be worn so many ways. The 50s have so much to offer in terms of fashion and silhouettes. We have just skimmed over the top. There's so much more to explore. Vintage patterns from the 50s are easy to come by and almost always printed, so they are easy to sew as well. It's a great period to start with when sewing vintage patterns. Next week, we'll look at the 60s. This is the last full decade I'll explore, as I have a limited amount of 1960s patterns and almost none from the 70s. But I'm excited to show you what I have. They are a lot of fun. I put out videos every Tuesday, so make sure to subscribe to be notified when the next post comes out. Let me know if you have questions about working with vintage patterns below, and be sure to like if you found this helpful. Thank you.